Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
If your dog is scratching nonstop, licking their paws, or losing hair, this episode will help you understand what those signs really mean. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host, here again with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. It is wonderful to be back on with you both today. Now, let's dive into the topic. What are the signs your dog may be dealing with skin problems? Take it away.
It's a great question. So I'm going to start with constant scratching and itching and licking is not normal. Some scratching, if your dog, if it's itchy,
If it's just like
it's
fine.
normal. But if it's constant, that's not normal. The key line, if it's repetitive, I guess would be a good thing to say. If it's repetitive,
Yeah.
it's a problem. Let's say with ears, a lot of times dogs are going to be scratching at their ears. They're going to be licking and chewing their paws. You'll see some red and flame skin. Odor that smells kind of like a Frito-y smell or a musty,
Yeah.
I can sometimes, and I can tell when my dog is having some allergy or yeasty issues, my house will smell like dog. And I know that's because, she's got something going on with her skin. And it's just something that I can smell. I do this all the time. Not everybody can smell it. I have a very sensitive nose. That said, there is a distinct odor. If something smells a little different, it's usually a warning sign. Flakes, dandruff, extra oily skin, hair loss. If you see spots that are just kind of, normally thick, sudden hot spots. If you don't know what a hot spot is, it's an angry, wet sore.
And they can pop up like that.
Yeah, overnight. And then ear issues, shaking the head. These are all things that are going to be some signs or some key phrases that you can, or I shouldn't say phrases, key things that you can look at and physically notice that your dog is doing that they might have a skin issue. The smell is a big telltale. Keep it simple. There's a lot of things that can start this. It can be allergies. It could be fleas.
Yep.
It could be yeast. It could be poor coat maintenance. It could be that your dog's got, the diet has changed. You might need to add or subtract something from their diet. Skin problems are usually a symptom. They are not the problem. So if you're noticing that your dog has got some skin problems, if you're noticing any of these things, you're going to want to find what the problem is. White dogs, you'll see white dogs are the
Or
easiest to
light
see.
colored dogs. It'll show up on blonde dogs too.
Yeah, blonde, light colored. The saliva in their mouth, if they're doing a constant licking and chewing and they're doing it while you're at work, where you can't see that, that will turn brown. And it's just a chemical reaction between the saliva and the dog's chemical makeup. The tear stains, you'll see that their eyes will have a big brown tear stain, usually in the lighter colored dogs. Darker colored dogs do get this. You just can't see it.
It's just not like a different color.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So if you have a lighter colored dog, it's easier to see. That odor that I mentioned, another really big key for that is usually it's a yeast problem or some kind of
Bacterial, some sort of
yeah.
it has an odor. Usually if it has an odor, just go to the vet.
If you hear constant licking or you can see that your dog at night is keeping you awake, if they're scratching, there's a reason. Let's identify the problem. Because it's not
My
normal.
dog used to itch on my bed at night.
Yeah.
She wouldn't sleep. She would just itch on my bed all night. It was annoying.
And my dog has seasonal allergies,
Yeah.
so I know when that's happening. We're fortunate that we have a lot of dogs, who can gauge that by. If you're having a problem, your dog has got seasonal allergies, you may have the same as your dog. Dogs are very similar to our, you know, hu- to our immune system. So if it's bothering our ears and nose and itchy, chances are it's going to be,
It could be them as well.
yeah, it could also bother them at the same times as bothering you. So if you don't really just notice those signs in your dog, but you're noticing them in you, pay special attention to your dog's behaviors. Not eating, same thing, drainage, ears draining, a smell. I keep going back to smell. Look inside those ears. Be visual. Dogs suffer in silence, and I don't like to say that like, you know you're making your dog suffer. But they're not going to tell you that they're in pain or
Right.
that they're itching constantly. They are still going to greet you at the door with the happy
Yep.
and lovey, and they're going to still put their best foot forward. But they're going to show you. They're going to show you by scooting on their butt. That's not normal. They're going to show you by rubbing their little face on the carpet because it itches. They're going to show you by, hey, look, I've got brown spots, or I'm losing hair. It's going to be a physical or something that you can
Yeah.
visually see or smell. That's kind of nature's way of helping you help them. So let's do our all over due diligence. Here at our grooming shop, if you're coming in on a regular grooming here at Hound Therapy, we look at the skin. That's the number one thing that we do with our
Okay.
bath is we're using our blow dryers, our combs, our brushes. We're separating that hair and we're really trying to say, is this a flea? Is this a mole? Are they oily than normal? We've got 16 cotton balls that's cleaning out this ear. We've noticed a funk. We see that the paw pads are red and inflamed, and we do point those out to everybody that comes in here. So that's part of our job. We feel that,
Yeah.
we're not vets by any means. But we
But I can tell
see,
you when the problem is starting,
yeah,
and
we
you
see it
should
on
get
a
a professional's opinion.
we see it on a regular, constant basis. So we usually can tell what's normal for our normal dogs, but we can also tell what's abnormal for dogs that don't come in very often. And that may not, that maybe that's normal for your dog, or you may already know about it or have a vet plan. But we do like to point it out still, just so that you're aware.
Now, how can groomers and owners work together to monitor ongoing skin concerns?
So first of all, we like as a groomer, we like to monitor by saying, "Hey, look, watch for these signs."
Mhm.
I'll show you the cotton ball. I will flip up that dog's big old flappy, smelly ear and say, "Take a big whiff," because it's very distinctive.
Mhm.
We're gonna physically show you where it's oily. We're gonna ask you some specific questions. We're gonna tell you what we think that we can do here, but we're first gonna try to get you to get a vet plan, and what your vet recommends, we're gonna try. If he gives you a shampoo,
We'll use it.
and we're gonna
It's
read.
really a trio of people. It's groomer, vet, and owner.
Yeah. Again, we're not veterinarians. So what we're doing is we're trying to help you to say, hey, look, we've noticed this. We see that your dog is trying to tell us this because we speak dog on a daily basis all over. You may not. You may be like, oh, she always does that. She's always scooting on her butt. I just thought that was normal. Oh, she always licks her feet, at this time of year. Well, we're here to say, well, yeah, that's
This
not
is
normal. It might be normal for you, but there's a reason that she's doing that. So let's try to find the reason. So we're going to point it out, and then it's on you, right? The vet and the pet owner to actually take action. We can do what we can do here by removing the excess hair, giving it a good bath, exposing the areas that we see. If we see that there's a hot spot that's been caused, a big angry wet sore, you can see them. That can be done from improper bathing. It could be from allergies. It could be from licking. It could be from an ant bite. Many, many things can cause
that
one certain problem. So we like to figure out what it is that's caused it for your dog.
the root.
So communication, we talk about that a lot. Communicating things that are different, really being visually aware, and really being aware on, when you walk in, if your house is smelly and it's not normally smelly, it's not just because you haven't washed your pet bed on a regular basis. It could be that, and that might be something I ask. A lot of people don't realize you can wash your pet bed, so you can. Please do.
Please wash it.
If you've got fleas or they're scratching, if you've been somewhere that they haven't, been on a regular basis, if you've got, certain foods that you're introducing, if you've changed their diet, there's a lot. If we notice your dog's lost weight or gained weight,
Mhm.
these are all things that are they're due to something. So it's kind of we're not the vet, but we
Yeah.
do see your animal on the most regular basis, other than yourselves. Most people go to the vet once a year. We see them every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. We see them very regularly. We make very detailed notes here.
Yeah.
We know what is normal looking for your animal after its third or fourth visit.
Yeah.
Um, and we know even if you've only come once a year, oh, it's we see it's, allergy season time again. We know that you're shaving your dog down, it's due for this, it's due for that. So, we try to keep good note taking and refer back and good communication. Have you been doing this at home? Has anything changed? Is, the ear, have you tried cleaning it out? What solutions do you use? What steps have you taken that could have made it worse or better? So we try to have a good communication
Mhm.
with you as well. But we will try to do everything that we can while your dog is here to maintain an open line of communication with them and with us and what we see and smell for you to be able to continue that help, because it's a one-time groom here isn't going to fix your problems. And
No.
a lot of times a one-time vet visit isn't going to fix your problems. So knowing what to look for and what seasons to look for them can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Well, Shannon and Tanya, thank you so much for sharing your expertise on this important topic. We will see everyone next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.